Terrific reporting, Jennifer, always. Joining us now live on set to discuss former Netanyahu's spokesperson, Tal Heinrich. Emotional day. I said when you sat down, Larry Kudlow calls me the root canal because I'm glass half empty. But today, it is before you get to the what ifs and the what now and what needs to happen. It is a day of celebration and acknowledgement of where there is a will, there's a way.
Right, and thank you for having me here on such a monumental day, a historic day indeed for the country. You know, people in Israel were waiting awake all night in anticipation, out in the streets, in public squares, just to see these remarkable images that you just played here. The families reuniting, those faces that we're used to seeing on national TV for 2 years, but never smiling, finally smiling, finally getting this moment of relief that they so much deserve. We haven't had so many moments throughout these past 2 years in which we could fully rejoice as a nation. And today was one of these days. But of course, we were talking about it here on set a bit before the program started, that in this very moment, we also remember the huge sacrifice and effort made by our soldiers, brave IDF soldiers who fought on the ground to make this a reality, to actually create the conditions that brought our leaders to be able to facilitate such a great deal that President Trump, Prime Minister Netanyahu were able to get. At no other point, such a deal, such a proposal was never on the table.
A historic day for sure, and President Trump deserves so much credit for inheriting this situation and working Israel's way out and America's way out as well, and bringing everybody together to find a way forward. I'm excited about that. But there's part of me that also remembers the 738 days and the ideological rot that got us there, and the demonization of Israel and Jews, the likes of which I never thought I would see again in this country. And so I don't trust Hamas. And I worry. I worry about the future. I worry about them upholding their aspects of the bargain. I worry about terrorism in the region. There's a new sheriff in town. They're scared of him. But what happens after?
We're all worried, and we don't take, our security for granted. But for exactly what you're talking about, it was very important to Israelis to see and hear President Trump speaking so powerfully at the Knesset, the Israeli parliament today. And one sentence really jumped out to me, and I guess to many more in my country, is that he said, Israel's security will no longer be threatened in any way, shape, or form. That's exactly what we wanted to hear. That's what we were fighting for. And I know that the Trump plan, the Trump deal, it has 20 different clauses, 20 different points. Today was just phase one. And let's face it, phase one isn't complete yet. We want to see all the bodies of the deceased hostages coming back. And we want to see the de-radicalization of Gaza. That's point one of the deal, because otherwise, three of us will be sitting here once again after another round of conflict, right, discussing the same issues unless Gaza de-radicalizes just in a few years down the road. We want to see the entire plan being followed through. And we trust this administration. We trust the Israeli leadership. We don't have to trust Hamas that this will happen. And we saw the commitment and dedication in which this administration treated the plight of our hostages since day one in office. And for that reason, I think we don't have many doubts that they will treat Israel's security now and follow through with the rest of the remaining points of this deal.
Very well put.
It's also incumbent upon us here in the United States to speak up and fight back against the moral rot that's on display among our fellow citizens and Americans on the left and on the right, in terms of, because there is no place for the hatred of Jewish individuals and families in the U.S. either. And this nation has some work to do in terms of fighting against anti-Semitism.
100%. We already see what's happening in those areas in Gaza. I'm not sure that if you saw these terrible videos in areas where Hamas went back to reestablish their rule, and they're simply executing Palestinians who resist their rule in the streets. Very hard to watch it. And for that reason, we don't take, as I said, our security for granted. We want to see all 20 points being fulfilled of this plan. We want to have the access that we need to be sure that they can't rearm and regroup again and attack us again. Just, by the way, last week in the West Bank, Israel thwarted a shipment of weapons with anti-tank missiles and rockets from Iran. So as we're speaking here and celebrating the prospects of new peace, a new era potentially in the Middle East, there are those who are already trying to plan, scheme the next October 7th. We're not naive about it, and we'll do everything we can to prevent it.
Tal Heinrich, great to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We rejoice on this day.